Hello everyone, welcome to SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We are now live with Loughborough University. Today we have Rob Reeves, the regional manager, who will let us know about this special webinar. Over to you, Rob.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you everyone for joining. Good afternoon. It's nice to have you here learning about Loughborough University. We know that there's a very important cricket match going on as we speak. So hopefully some of you guys will be distracted from away from the cricket and to hear about Loughborough today. So thank you. I'm the regional manager for South Asia. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about Loughborough today, but also we're going to start with looking at the UK and why the UK may be a good study destination for you. This is the third in our series of webinars. So welcome back to those of you who have joined us before, and welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time to learn about Loughborough. So before we start, what I'm going to do is just touch a little bit on applying to study in the UK, just so you have a little bit of an idea about the benefits and perhaps things to consider whilst you're making an application. So we've got a long history of welcoming international students, particularly from India, to study in the UK. And you'd be very welcome to add to that list in the coming months and years. One of the main benefits of the UK is that a bachelor's degree tends to be 3 years, a master's degree is 1 year, and a PhD is 3 years. So generally, you can save time and money when compared to some of the other international destinations. And certainly you can get, for example, a master's in engineering within 4 years, which in India could take you up to 6 years. So that's just something to bear in mind in terms of you starting in industry, perhaps a little bit quicker than some of your friends. The UK degree is recognised throughout the world. So if you're looking to get a job back in India, to stay in the UK, or to move to another country, the UK degree is very well known for its academic excellence. So that's really going to help you when you come to find a job in the future. Also, there is now the graduate route immigration visa, which means that if you graduate from the UK from this summer onwards, you can stay in the UK for 2 years without the need for a sponsorship or without the need to earn a certain salary. So it's a really, really good time for you to be thinking about studying in the UK. Also, the UK is very multicultural, very diverse, and is a very creative environment. So if you are looking to come to the UK, there'll be many other students from India there. There'll be many other students from around the world, and it'll allow you to kind of study in a very safe environment, learn from lots of different cultures, lots of different friends from the Far East, the Middle East, Africa, North America, Southeast Asia. So there'll be many other nationalities as well as the South Asian countries that you'll be studying with. And there's also lots to see and do. So if you're into sports, then great. If you're into music, then fantastic. If you want to travel and visit what the UK has to offer, then you'd be very welcome to do so during your time. So it's not just about your degree. However, when you're studying, hopefully this will be a bit of advice and guidance for you in terms of what to look out for when you're choosing a university. So obviously the first thing is going to be the course. So do you qualify for that course? Do you meet the entry requirements? Do you know what the entry requirements are? That's something to consider. Is the subject you're going to be studying something that you enjoy? Are you good at that subject? Or is it just because you're having pressure from family or friends to go down that route? Studying something that you enjoy is obviously going to make the most of your time in the UK, and that's hopefully going to be the reason why you will want to work in that area in the future. So finding your chosen career path and how you're going to get there is a really important factor. So do you have the right subject background? So for example, at Loughborough University, most of our courses require you to have a subject at the master's level where you've done your bachelor's degree in a relevant subject area. Let's say engineering, you need to do an engineering degree to do another engineering master's. And similarly, if you're looking to do an undergraduate degree, we might look at the subjects that you've studied in high school. Let's say CBSE students would normally need maths and science subjects to come on to engineering. Or for example, if you wanted to do commerce, in the UK, you may need to have a maths or economics or business background. So it's just something to bear in mind when you are applying for the courses. Are you eligible, and are you looking to the right subjects for you? Some courses, either undergraduate and a select number of postgraduate courses in the UK, have internship options. So if that's something that you're looking at, that's obviously maybe a reason why you choose that university. And of course, you may consider the location. It could be where your family and friends are located, where you've had a recommendation, where your Football team is located, for example. So you may have a certain attraction to a city or area or part of the UK as well. So think about that. Also think about the cost. Sometimes living in a big city can be a bit more expensive, but also think about how you're going to get to the university, where it's located, where the transport links are, and things like that. Because if you are looking to come to the UK, like me, when I came to India, I was a little bit unsure of where to go and everything when I first arrived, and it will be a similar kind of thing for you guys. So, and also the cost. So does the university provide any scholarships, for example? What is the living cost in that part of the UK? What are the tuition fees like? When do you pay the tuition fees? So these are some things to consider. But also going back to my original point of things alongside the degree, I think it's really important to get involved in the societies the university offers, the clubs. If, for example, you play a musical instrument, it's really useful for that university would continue to offer that option for you. If you're interested in sports, again, you may want to play cricket, football, rugby, whatever it would be, swimming in the UK. So it's nice for you to continue that if that's something that you're interested in. And also another thing to factor into the cost is whether part-time jobs are available, because a number of our students coming to the UK look to get a part-time job. So learning more about that before you make your decision. And a few other areas, submitting your documents in good time is something to bear in mind. Whether you've studied in high school or whether you are looking to do a master's degree, you would need to provide your academic backgrounds. You'd need to perhaps meet the university's entry requirements, although a lot of universities in the UK now are offering IELTS waivers if you've got good scores in your standard 12th profile. You would normally need to get a reference from either your school or from your college or university, depending on your subject level, and also write an SOP explaining why you want to study that subject. You may also need to get what's called an ATAS clearance, which takes a little bit of time for certain engineering subjects. And then obviously you need to allow time for the visa process. So let's say you're applying for an undergraduate degree in the UK next year. You would normally apply through UCAS, ucas.com, and that is normally open from October time. And we'd recommend that you have applied the year before you want to study, but let's say the year of study, January, the middle of January. Okay, so by the middle of January, you need to have then made an application to study in the UK for the October of the same year. If you're looking to do a master's degree, apply as soon as possible, but we'd really recommend, again, similar time, make sure you've applied by January if you can, just to make sure that you're meeting all the scholarship deadlines and you've got everything in place to meet the certain acceptance deadlines that universities give. Accommodation, so find out where you're going to be living. Will the university help you with that? Do they offer on-campus accommodation? That's something to bear in mind. Scholarships as well. So what are the fees? What are the living costs? What scholarships can I get from the university? And again, a little bit about travel, making that arrangements in good time. So that's just a few introductory slides to the UK. My main focus is going to be on Loughborough University, the one that I'm representing today. And we've got a quick introduction to the university for you. So we hope you like that Mission Impossible themed introduction. A little bit of information on the university then. You found out a little bit about the university through the introduction, but we were founded in 1909. We became a university in 1966, so just over 100 years of offering education. We have lots of international students join us every year, so about 15% of our cohort are international. We have a growing number of undergraduates and postgraduate research, so PhD students, but the vast majority would do master's one-year programs with us. Over the last two intakes, so September 2020 and January 2021, we've been very fortunate enough to welcome over 230 students from India to join us, and our total population is 350. But you can see, as well as that, there are 129 other different nationalities of students as well. So you'll be in good company, but it's not like you're traveling all the way across the world to be in a mini version of India with a little bit of a cold climate. You will have lots of different people to liaise with, and the diversity is very strong at the university. So we've got a single site campus at Loughborough where everything is in one place, and we have a campus in London which is for postgraduate taught and research students. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of those factors about the university now. So where are we? We've mentioned Loughborough. It's a very strange word. It's a hard word to pronounce. That is where our main campus is. That is between the cities of Leicester and Nottingham. So a very affordable place to live, very safe place, and good transport links around the UK. You can get to Birmingham, England's second largest city, in about an hour, and you can get to London in an hour and 20 minutes by direct train. Our London campus is located on the Olympic Park. That is in East London, and again, very, very easy to travel around London, the rest of the UK, and also to Europe via either the Eurostar, the tunnel that goes under the British Channel to France and other parts of the UK, or via one of the 4 connecting airports that London has. So really good to travel around, particularly when COVID is calming down now and people are having free movement in the UK. So this is the Loughborough campus. We're going to actually send you on a tour of the campus very shortly, so you can find out what it's all about and what's there. But everything that you would need is in one place, whether it be accommodation, whether it be our library, our student facilities, our accommodation, catering halls as well, where you eat your food, and also your study buildings. So you'll learn a bit more about this as we go on, and I'm going to run through an introduction for you now.
Hello and welcome to Loughborough University's campus tour.
Our beautiful 440-acre campus is one of the largest in the UK. We have fantastic facilities for every aspect of student life, with plenty of green open spaces, sports areas, academic buildings and award-winning student accommodation, as well as a variety of shops, restaurants, bars and cafes.
We start the tour here at Hazelrigg and Rutland, 2 of the administrative buildings here at the university, and if you're lucky on a sunny day you might see the Fountain Ducks.
Just over the road is our Student Union building. The Student Union is at the heart of student life here at Loughborough. From amazing nights out to getting involved in one of our many societies, our welfare and diversity associations, community projects, sports, fundraising, and even setting up your own business. There's something for everyone here at the Student Union. The building is also home to a pub, a hairdresser, a dentist, an optician, a bank, a pharmacy, a coffee shop and a Chinese restaurant.
Our amazing security team look after our campus 24 hours a day, every single day of the year. They're all first aid trained, they do regular patrols of our campus during the day and night, and are generally here to make sure that all the staff and students are well looked after. Our swimming pool is home to British Swimming, British Triathlon and Loughborough Student Clubs. It's also the training base of some of the world's leading swimmers. However, everyone here uses the pool regardless of ability.
The Rugby Rubber Camp pitch is home to an extensive rugby program. It has an international standard surface, fully floodlit with loads of space for spectators. As well as training, we also host matches for National League 1 and box. Powerbase is one of the country's largest strength and conditioning gyms. Powerbase also has state-of-the-art techno gym equipment and is designed to maximize athlete potential. With areas for free weights, cardio, weightlifting equipment, there's a lot to do. You might even get to see a famous face or two.
And we also have the Holywell Fitness Centre, which is located at the west end of our campus. LU Arts is a student-focused arts, music and cultural programme which offers a wide variety of performances, events, workshops and creative things for you to get involved in alongside your studies. You'll discover lots of interesting sculptures around our campus, and you can also make use of our music practice rooms, our exhibition space and our theatres.
The EHB food court has recently been refurbished and it's a fantastic place to meet up with friends, catch up, grab a bite to eat from the street food inspired range on offer. There's also a range of artisan coffees and teas to choose from, breakfast bars in the mornings, as well as fresh cakes and muffins. This is one of our lecture theatres here at Loughborough. Lectures are just one of the ways in which you are taught here at university. So depending on your course, you might have smaller sessions like seminars, tutorials, laboratory work, and all of that depends on your weekly schedule.
The Bridgman building is home to our student services team. You can get support from our careers network and our student advice team with things such as finance, housing and immigration. Our wellbeing and inclusivity team can help you if you have a disability, and they also provide support for mental health issues. We have a GP surgery located in the heart of the campus. We recommend that all of our students register when they get here, and of course you can pick up your prescriptions from the pharmacy that's located just in the Students' Union.
Sustainability and biodiversity are a huge part of life here on campus.
We have regular campaigns to reduce our energy consumption and to promote reusing and recycling wherever possible.
We also look after our campus wildlife, including our very own hives of honeybees.
Welcome to the Pilkington Library, one of the central hubs on campus where you can come and study, research and write up your coursework, or just meet with your friends and tutors.
And the library isn't just a building full of books. It's also got specially trained staff to help you reach your full potential and support you throughout your degree. Now, the best thing is you can also access some of their resources from the comfort of your sofa.
The library has everything from quiet study areas
To bookable rooms for group study,
as well as PC suites,
a cafe,
and the PC clinic where the team can help you get back on track if your laptop decides to break the day before an important deadline. STEM Lab opened in 2017 and provides state-of-the-art facilities for engineering and science disciplines. There are technical workshops, labs and teaching spaces. Here at the West End of campus we have a number of sports pitches. We have the University Stadium, which is home to Loughborough University Football Club, Loughborough Foxes, and holds 3,500 people. And we also have a beach volleyball court.
The Student Village is home to a number of our halls of residence. It's right in the center of campus, really close to the library, and a short walk away from Students' Union. There is also a village shop and a takeaway.
Our water-based pitch is an international standard dedicated hockey facility and is home to our extensive hockey programme. It has recently been refurbished to an Olympic standard.
Our athletics centre is home to the British Athletics National Performance Institute, as well as the Loughborough Students Athletic Club.
Inside the centre is equipped over 2 different floors to help support all of our different athletics disciplines.
Those are some of the key places on our beautiful campus here at Loughborough.
There's so much to see and do here, and we hope this tour has given you a flavour of what we have to offer.
But Loughborough is not just a bunch of buildings and facilities. It's a feeling, it's a community, and it's a family.
We can't wait to welcome you to our campus in person. See you soon.
So that just gives you a bit of an insight into what we are, what we have on campus, and the different facilities that you'd be able to have if you did come to study with us. In the local town of Loughborough, we've got part-time job options. There are cinemas, supermarkets, there's a laser quest, lots of places to try new foods from around the world, and also a place where a lot of students will buy their local kind of groceries every day. The local cities in Leicester has a very large South Asian community. They celebrate one of the largest festivals, Diwali festivals outside of India, for example, and the home to Leicester City, if you're a football fan. Even if you don't support Leicester City, your team, if it's a Premier League team, will be playing Leicester every year. So a chance to go and see them in person. But nearby, we also have the Peak District, which has lots of options for hiking, cycling, camping, exploring, to see some of our places of outstanding beauty in the UK. And just the other side, we are nearby to Nottingham, famous for Robin Hood and very good shopping scene, but also home to Trent Bridge Cricket Ground for those eager cricket fans to go and see your heroes when they usually tour the UK rather every few years. So this is our London campus. So this is where we have some of our postgraduate taught and some of our PhD options. So it's taught on the Olympic Park. The Olympic facilities are still open for students and still used by athletes. West Ham United still play in the Olympic Stadium, which is the kind of the further away part from where you're viewing this image today. Towards the front of the image, the Reeves building is where we are located across 4 floors. And that's where you get involved in our collaborative project. You have your taught modules every day, but there are many networking opportunities in or around the Olympic Park, particularly relating to sports and innovation. So that's two of the main parts of our programs. We also have within 10 minutes walk, you can get to, within 10 minutes cycle ride, you can get to central London. So very, very easy. Just go down the canal here. And there are many options for food and social activities just on this canal side apartments as well. So lots of things for students to do. In terms of living, you would tend to live just over here, which used to be the old Athletes Village. That's where we have accommodation providers offering you the chance to stay there or in or around London. And there is also the largest shopping centre nearby, one of the largest in Europe, which is really good for groceries, good for foodies if you're into your food, and also really good for part-time jobs as well. So I'm going to play you a short video about London. It does touch a little bit on the campus, but it's, I guess, more so focused towards some of the reasons why students study in London because of the employability aspects.
The whole buzz of East London is around us here. And that's really significant because we can tap into all kinds of different communities, entrepreneurial communities, design communities, business communities.
The career opportunities here at Loughborough University London will definitely affect my future career path. I was able to connect with real companies and I was able to deepen my knowledge in technologies.
The collaborative project allows our students to develop their experience in the real world. We have real organisations setting real problems. They can put that onto their CV and say, I did this with this organisation whilst I was studying.
I got like a real case that I can present as part of my portfolio, and I got extremely useful experience of working with international teammates.
It's important for students to work with startups because they're very kind of hands to mouth in terms of how they operate. So it can give students a real sense of what it's like right on the cutting edge.
Getting to work with actual professionals was very insightful. Being able to work on a real project rather than a made-up project was really key for enhancing our professionalism.
This is the city when you can make your dreams come true. If you want to meet new people, you want to develop your business ideas, all doors are open in London.
So you've heard a little bit about the London opportunities as well, and in or around London there are many options for sightseeing, for sports and music and recreational activities, but also in or around the Olympic Park there's a big buzz student community as well, which if you're interested would be perhaps you one day. So going back to the university more generally, we are ranked consecutively in the top 10. We are number 7 in 3 of the rankings. So an easy way to remember Loughborough is 777. So we're 7 in the Complete University Guide, the Times, and the Guardian. We are number 1 in the world for sports-related programs, and we have some other subjects that are very highly sought after as well. Top 10 for research in the UK, and we are also have won 7 awards by Our Majesty the Queen, the 7th of which she's handing over to our former Vice-Chancellor there. We've won the University of the Year recently, which is voted for by students, which we're very, very happy with. And we've been voted 2nd in the National Student Survey in England for student satisfaction. So again, only one university got that award ahead of us. So we're really, really pleased with how that's been. We've won many awards for student experience over the past 10 years, and we're really, really proud that our Students' Union and our accommodation are winning those awards as well, showing all-round good experience for students at quite an affordable price. So we're not going to touch on every single subject area today, but just if you are interested in studying over the next few years, we've got a January intake for some of our postgraduate subjects, or we've got an October 2022 intake for all other programs next year. So we offer courses in engineering, which we have mechanical, electrical, manufacturing, telecommunications. We offer automotive, aeronautical, chemical and materials engineering as well. And we also have architecture, building and civil, which includes courses such as construction management, which is a very popular discipline at Loughborough. We have our design school, School of Design and Creative Arts, that offers the chance to do product design, graphic design, user experience design, and many other disciplines thereof. There are also the opportunity to study in our top 10 business school, where we have a triple accredited award. We have an MBA with work experience for those who have got 3 years of work experience themselves. They can come on to do an internship with us as part of that degree. And a number of our bachelor's programs also have a 4-year offering as a compulsory element, which means that you do work experience as part of a 4-year degree. Our sports faculty, perhaps the most famous, being number 1 in the world for the past 5 years. So they offer courses relating to sports science and coaching, sport management, and more science-based programs, including psychology, musculoskeletal health, strength and conditioning, biomechanics, and other areas related to sport. So if you're interested in sports, you're definitely in good hands at Loughborough. School of Science offers chem, maths and physics, as well as computer science. Social Science offers geography, media-related courses, English and political-related courses. And Loughborough London, as a separate entity, offers design innovation, digital technologies, diplomacy, entrepreneurship, international management, media and sport courses. But I'll come to talk about those now. So in each of our institutes in London, you would do the collaborative project, which we've had an introduction to through the video today. So they have courses for designers who are looking to up their skills and learn more on the commerce side to go into their own business or to develop their current company's design innovation techniques. We also have digital technologies, which include some of the cutting edge and very popular programs now, including digital marketing, digital finance and fintech. There are aspects there such as cybersecurity and data analytics. Looking at AI, for example, is one of the disciplines there. And you can get involved again in diplomacy related courses, entrepreneurship related courses for those looking to start up a new business or work in a family business in future. Those are really, really popular programs. International management and related programs will allow you to learn more about the commerce side, perhaps adding in HRM or project management to your repertoire as well. Media, we have a partner with BT Sports, who are next door to where we're located on here East Park. So really, really good options to get internships and part-time jobs with a media related company. And Sport Business, that's the institutes that have recently partnered with Chelsea Football Club. So they offer different variants of sport management, including sport marketing, sports development when it comes to technologies, and things like sports innovation as well. So again, offering some very popular programs. And just touching on that, again, one of the big selling points for London is this collaborative project where you're all working with a team to solve a real life problem. So again, that's a really good thing to have on your CV when you're coming to look to find jobs in the UK. And on that note, we are best in the UK for our connections to industry. We are top 10 for graduate prospects, and our careers team would offer support across both campuses, not only during your degree, but up to 3 years after graduation as well. So it's a really good time to be studying with us, particularly with the graduate immigration visa route coming in. You have the collaborative project for London. London also allow a number of industry-based dissertations. So during your dissertation of a 1-year degree, you can spend some time within industry, allowing you good networking and employment opportunities, and that is available for a number of our other programs. And we would provide you support not only through our careers fair, which happens, the largest fair happens in October every year, but through our one-to-one counselling services, which allow you to learn more about the application process, what a LinkedIn profile should look like, what your CV should look like, what it should and shouldn't include, mock interviews, assessment centres, covering letters, all of the kind of things that you're perhaps not used to doing. We will provide that support during your degree. And sports at Loughborough, that again is something that a number of students want to do alongside their degree. So that could be playing a sport, playing a hobby, getting involved in coaching and volunteering, hosting some of the events that we have on campus. You may want to get involved in that. And it can be an inclusive where you have never played the sport before, or learning to swim, for example, or it can be, you know, you're pretty good, you want to play for your halls of residence, or even better, represent the university. We've represented 40 years of British universities and colleges sports competitions. So we've entered the university competitions against all other UK universities, and we've actually won every single year for the past 40 years. So we've dominated those sporting competitions, but we also offer lots of free activities for those who are less competitive and just want to do it for in their spare time. And most recently, 20% of Team GB's medals in the Tokyo Olympics were actually Loughborough-based athletes. So there's really, really good support there, and if you're very, very good, you may be able to go and represent India in future in your team's Olympic successes. And again, even more medals have come through in the last few days from the Paralympics, so that's something that we have a very good reputation for, is our para sport offering. I'm going to play you a video now that summarizes some of the sporting options at Loughborough. So that just highlights some of the sporting options. But if you're not sporty, don't worry, because there are over 100 other societies to get involved in, whether that's belly dancing or computer science society, Harry Potter and Quidditch, Pokemon. So you name it, we have it. And it only takes about 10 members to start a new society. If you'd like to campaign or run a hobby or a mutual interest society, you're very welcome to do so. This is a big part of campus life, and it's a really good way of getting to know new people with similar interests as well. Accommodation on campus, we've got 18 halls of university managed accommodation, 3 for postgrads, and PhD students, and 15 of which are for undergrads. Students can also stay off campus if they'd like, and we've got off-campus accommodation providers that can offer you that if that's something you're interested in. In London, we've got 2 of our partners who offer accommodation. One is Stratford Unite next to the Olympic Park, and one is student.com, which allows you to live pretty much anywhere across London for a more affordable price. There are a guarantee of 2 years if an undergraduate student applies to us and chooses us as their first choice via UCAS. And postgrads who are applying, they're given the preference against UK students for their accommodation. So it's normally easier for you to get accommodation if you're postgrad against a UK student. Very safe place to live, as I say, very affordable. We've won various awards for our accommodation, and particularly the Loughborough campus has everything on campus, from a medical centre, dentist, opticians. You have wardens looking after the students. We have places to eat, whether you've booked accommodation that has included food or not. You can use all of the canteens on a pay and go basis. So a little bit on our entry requirements, and then we'll pause for questions. For a CBSE student or an ISC student, generally we look for the best of 4 subjects. It's around about 83 to 85% for most subjects. State board students would normally add 5 onto that requirement. So let's say 88 to kind of 92, 93 is kind of our expectation for state board students. If you're doing A levels, normally an A and 2 Bs or 2 As and a B would be the standard requirement. And for our IB diploma courses, there will also be between 34 and 35 points. Subjects requirements may also include maths, so that may be needed in standard 10 or 12. Or IGCSE if you've studied that for certain subjects. And we have programs here that include IELTS waivers. So for example, if you're doing if you did quite well in English, so 75 or 80% depending on your board in English, we can normally waive off that requirement. We usually, though, if you've not got that, or if you've not taken standard 12, you've not been successful in getting those high scores, then 6.5 in IELTS is normally needed, with 6 in each band. We also accept Pearson's and TOEFL. We do have a foundation entry route, not usually that applicable to Indian students because they usually meet our direct entry route. But if you are coming onto the foundation for 1 year, which is taught by Loughborough at Loughborough, you would need to take an IELTS score and get 5.5 overall and 5.5 in each band. And there are also pre-sessional courses for those who need a little bit more support with the English. All of our undergraduate programs attract scholarships. The vast majority do, rather, of 25% of the fee. That's based on your predicted grades and you choosing the university as your firm choice, and that's then confirmed on receipt of your grades. If you are into sports, we offer sporting packages through our scholarships for about 12 elite sports, including football, cricket and swimming, worth up to £5,000 per year, usually for national level athletes. UCAS.com is the application route. If you're applying for second year entry, it's also UCAS. There is a direct application if you're looking to do art and design programs, particularly if at the foundation level, and the admissions contact is there. I've not put in the slide, unfortunately, today, but the slide I meant to show for postgrad is that usually if you've got between 60 and 65% from, well, in fact, 55 in some cases, from a university in India, you generally would qualify for most of our programs. We've got a top 100 institution list by your government's higher education framework. If you are belonging to a top 100 university, you would normally need between 55 and 60 for admission. If you're not, then it would be between 60 and 65 for admission. So that's the percentage. We would sometimes have a separate GPA requirement because not all institutions have a GPA of times 10 to get the percentage. So we may have a slightly different requirement there. But if you are doing very well in your studies, we offer what's called a 10 or a 20% scholarship. So they are academic scholarships based on merit. So let's say you're getting 70% in your degree, you're very likely to get a 20% scholarship for your master's course. If you're getting, say, 60%, you may be considered for a 10% scholarship. So that will vary depending on the subjects that you've studied. Also, sports scholarships are available to postgraduate students just as they are to undergraduates. It's a direct application through our website. So you would apply through the Loughborough portal. It's a free application and you would log all your details in there. So I thought I'd put up a few slides on what the last year has been like for us. It's been a bit of a strange transition for a lot of students going from online to going from face-to-face to online and then back again to face-to-face. But we are expecting that teaching to continue on a largely face-to-face basis. So those who have had to self-isolate were not charged in our halls. We've refunded millions of pounds to students overall for those who have had to return home. We've delivered food to the halls for those who need it, and that's our Vice-Chancellor delivering food himself. And on the right-hand side, we've actually been one of very few universities to offer in-person graduation this year. So we've offered more small communal graduation ceremonies, not only for this year's graduates, but last year's graduates who missed out due to the pandemic. So again, we're really, really pleased that we've been able to offer that. And just so you know, the excuse me, the situation in the UK, if you are traveling from India this year or perhaps in January, it's likely that you would need to self-isolate on arrival. We would be offering discounted rooms if you booked your university accommodation for you to spend your period there. And there are certain tests that we're offering discounted options for you to take as part of the COVID regime in the UK. And there's a free test you can take to allow early release from your self-isolation on day 5 or certainly from day 5 onwards. You will also be very welcome to join one of our pickup services. This is offered for various dates in September for our September or October arrivals, January if you're coming in Jan, and then the following October if you're looking to join us. So they're normally from Heathrow Airport. They are free for students, a small charge for family members or friends who are coming with you. And you normally would meet at Terminal 2 in Heathrow Airport. So for those of you who may be looking for next year, all of our programs are available in October 2022. But for some of you, if you're looking to join in January, you would be very welcome to apply for courses in marketing, management and international business. They are all flexible entry and available to students from any subject background. And there are 3 media related, well, there are a range of media related programs, including digital, global and social media for you to choose in Jan. 1 engineering program in low building energy services and lots of geography and environmental related programs. And in London, pretty much every institute offers 1 or 2 programs for you to join in January, if that is something that you'd be interested in doing so. So that's essentially all we've got to mention today. Again, welcome back to those who have joined us before, and hopefully some of that information is useful to you and it's new to you. But for those of you who are joining us and hearing about Loughborough for the first time, again, thank you for your interest, and we'd be very happy to pause for questions now. So Deepika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Rob, for such a knowledgeable presentation. We are now moving towards the Q&A session. The first student is asking about, is IELTS necessary to apply for study abroad?
It's not always compulsory for UK universities. For Loughborough in particular, if you've scored well in your standard 12 profile, so by well I mean usually 75% in CBSE or 80% in State Board, in English, we would offer the IELTS waiver, or if you've done international qualifications like the IB diploma or the IGCSE qualifications in English, we'll look at your scores and look to waive it off. But honestly speaking, if you're asked to take IELTS, getting 6.5 is not particularly difficult. You need to practice, of course, but you're not expected to be English as your first language. It's something that a number of our students do quite easily obtain. So we will try to waive it off where possible, but if you're asked to take it, don't worry, just make sure that you're practicing the individual bands, so speaking, listening, reading and writing prior to the test.
Thank you, Rob. The next question: does Loughborough University accept Duolingo score instead of IELTS?
We don't, unfortunately, no. So it would have to be IELTS, TOEFL, Pearson's, or I think we are accepting language certs for this year as well. all of which most of them have the option of doing the test at home, particularly the TOEFL Home Edition. But no, we don't accept Duolingo, unfortunately.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Is there a college cricket team? How does a student at the undergraduate level get onto that?
Very good point. Yeah, it is. And it's probably one of the most popular for Indian students to try and get involved with. So the way it works with your undergraduate study is that you would have Wednesday afternoons completely free. So there's no classes on Wednesday afternoons. And that's when a lot of the cricket, football, badminton, other sporting matches take place. So when you join the university, and usually prior to joining, you would be having conversations with our cricket coach. So if you look online under our cricket program, and if you're very good, our MCCU program, which is a very high level, in which there's only 6 institutes in the UK offering this high performance cricket option. You can talk to the coach beforehand, register your interest, and then you normally have a trial when you arrive at the university in kind of October time. And then from then on, you would decide based on the trial, which level of cricket you'll play at, either the elite level or the first, second, third team, or the Halls of Residence League. So cricket is similar to India. It's very, very popular in the UK, as well as other sports. So there'll be lots of opportunities to play cricket if you're not playing for the elite level team, the highest team. And every year you can go to a trial to progress and get a promotion to the team above as well. So lots of options, particularly in cricket, to play alongside your studies.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Is there MBA program in January 2022?
There's not, unfortunately, no. So our MBA program is for those who have got 3 years of work experience, and it's available as a 1 year or a 2 year degree. The next intake would be October 2022, although we offer management and international business available in Jan.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Is there any planned science courses here?
No, we don't really have that kind of focus, unfortunately. So we don't tend to offer anything in kind of botany or plant science, unfortunately. So that's just not one of our specialisms.
The next question. Is it safe for living student in the town?
Yeah, so with the UK, and the same anywhere really, late at night when it's very dark, we wouldn't recommend people to travel on their own, but that's the same probably globally. What I would say though is that Loughborough is a very safe place, is a very good community feel. So students can get taxis around, they can walk around during the day. There's a very nice relationship between the students and the local population. So students generally feel very safe on campus, and we do have 24-hour security and CCTV just to keep students safe. We don't really need it, but we do it to make sure students feel safe on campus.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. How is the MSc in International Business program in the university?
So we've got, it's one of our, I guess, more popular programs because it's flexible on the subject background. You need to have a good academic background, but in which subject we're quite flexible on. So in that way, it is a popular option. There is a study abroad element to it as well. So normally in the second semester, there is an option. Obviously with COVID, it's a little bit more complicated, but there is an option for students to spend their second semester abroad. And some of those partners include one of the IITs in India. So that is a really good option. They take part in lots of virtual conferences and competitions with other universities. And again, it's a subject area that can lead to many different future careers. So it is one of our most popular programs in our business school.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Is there any financial support scholarships available for students?
Yeah, so we offer for our undergraduates, it's a 25% scholarship, which sometimes for certain schools is offered on a recurring basis based on performance in the degree. Our master's students would get either a 10 or a 20% scholarship. Our London students can apply for a 90% scholarship if they've got a good business idea and can show really good skills of entrepreneurial and innovation skills. And for our MBA students, they can apply for a scholarship of between 25 to 40% of the fee, depending on their academic background and also their level of work experience. So normally if it's 5 years or more and you have a good academic background, you may be considered for a 40% scholarship.
Thank you, Rob. The next question, is medical available as a study option? And if yes, then is there any medical school integrated or a separate medical school?
We don't have a medical school, I'm afraid, so we don't do MBBS or medicine as a discipline. The closest you would come would be our sports-related programs that are for some health background students. Things like exercises medicine is perhaps the closest you would come, but again, that's more on the sporting and exercise side rather than medicine itself. But no, we don't have a medical school, unfortunately.
Thank you. The next question, eligibility criteria for BTEC.
So if a student wants to do BTEC in the UK, that's normally known as a BEng or MEng if they want to do the integrated bachelor's and master's program. So for a BEng, we'd look at the best of 4 profile, either through your CBSE or ISC or state board exams. We'd like to see good scores in maths and in particular physics. Sometimes bio would be useful for, say, biotechnology, bioengineering. Chemistry would be useful for the likes of chemical engineering, for example. So normally science-based and math subjects will be useful, normally on the basis of between 80 and 90%, depending on the state board or CBSE and which engineering discipline you choose. So between 80 and 90, you would normally be considered for admission into those programs. We also offer what's called an MEng, which is an integrated bachelor's and master's together, which if taken as that route, it will be a 4-year degree. So students usually would be asked to have slightly higher grades, maybe 3 to 5% higher in their grades, because it actually means you complete your master's degree in closer to 9 months. So it's a more of intensive program. So for that, you would need good academic grades beforehand. But yeah, usually for a 3-year degree or a 4-year degree with an internship option, we'd normally look at 80% plus for admission.
Thank you, Rob. The next question, does your university have masters in physiotherapy?
Not physiotherapy, unfortunately. We offer things like strength and conditioning. We offer musculoskeletal health. We offer biomechanics. So courses that have crossovers with physiotherapy, but we don't offer physio itself. Some students get involved in the nutrition aspects, some get into the performance aspects, but we don't do physiotherapy as such.
Thank you, Rob. The next question, do you have masters in finance?
We do, yeah. So we offer finance on its own for finance graduates, finance and management for those who have not done a lot of finance modules before, or from engineering, for example. And then you can specialize in areas such as finance, digital finance, finance and investments, corporate finance. So a number of different programs, including finance and economics. So yes, for finance, we've got quite a range of programs at master's level. And we're normally top 10 in all business areas for our business school. So you'll be in good company with good graduates, good graduate prospects there.
Thank you, Rob. The next question, is there a luggage limit if we want to use the coach service? In case we do have an extra baggage, will we be allowed to use the coach service?
We usually recommend students bring no more than 2 checked-in luggage with them. We know that some airlines offer quite a large baggage allowance when you are traveling, and it's a good incentive if you tell them you're a student for you to do that. More than 2 luggage, more than 2 checked-in luggage becomes quite complicated, and we sometimes lose the capacity to offer that on the coaches. So I would suggest to bring no more than 2 checked-in luggage, so no more than 2 suitcases if you can.
Thank you, Rob. The next question, is the Covishield vaccine approved in the UK? Covishield is also known as AstraZeneca.
Yeah, so at the moment, the UK coming to the UK, to study or to visit, you don't need to have a vaccination. If you're coming to study and you don't have both vaccinations or any vaccinations, we will be able to provide you that free of charge as a paying member of the NHS, which is what you would be as a student. However, if your question is relating to exemptions, not currently, no. So only those who are fully vaccinated from the US and from EU countries would qualify for an exemption of the quarantine period when you arrive. But let's say India moves on to the green list over the next 6 months or so. If that is the case, then you wouldn't need to quarantine. So no, it's not recognised for exemption. You don't need to have a vaccination to come into the UK. But if you do have had one, or if you need both, then we would provide that in the UK for you. And it will be let's say you've had Covishield one jab and you've not had the second, we will normally provide the vaccination that's closest to the one you've previously had. So in this case, it would be normally the AstraZeneca vaccination in the UK where available.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Could you give more insights on part-time jobs and maintaining college?
Yeah, of course. So most of our students look for part-time jobs when they're in the UK, if they need them, and they can either be a representative of a university, so they can work in a coffee shop, the library, students' union, the bars, cafes, restaurants that way. Some of our students are actually student helpers or ambassadors. So if any of you joined our previous two sessions, previous two webinars, we had a number of our current students get involved. They're paid to support the university through these events. It looks really good on their CV. It helps with their confidence and communication skills, and shows good team working skills as well. So they are available. So students who are wanting to become a student ambassador, normally from October every year for either campus, Loughborough or London, we have a student ambassador route. Adding to that, a lot of students work off campus. So they work in the town of Loughborough, they work in shops, restaurants, cinemas, supermarkets, part-time. Some of them work for Amazon. So there are lots of different opportunities to get involved in your spare time in part-time jobs. But again, you normally look for it when you've arrived and settled into campus.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. What about the placements after the master's course? And are the classes going on offline currently?
Okay, I'll take the second question first. We are expecting it to be a vast majority face-to-face teaching this year. So it will be face-to-face, what you'd refer to as offline teaching. There will be elements of online, because there's been very good feedback from our students that some of the online aspects, such as recorded lectures, is actually quite useful in case you miss any aspects of that. So some of the experience may be online. But the vast majority will be face-to-face. So the campus is open, the labs are open, students are coming. Students have been having face-to-face teaching for some of them since March this year, and that's our expectation this year. In terms of the placements support, so as we mentioned, we offer one of the UK's largest careers fairs. So that's a really good way to meet industry. That's going to be likely a hybrid of face-to-face and online this year, but more so face-to-face, we'd imagine. And that's a good chance to meet industry, work with our careers team and school colleagues to advertise those opportunities, for you to be confident and ready to apply for the jobs in good time, know the questions to ask in an interview, for example, and just to know a bit more about the application process. So we do provide the support throughout, and that's available from the second you come onto campus. So our careers centre is open for appointments for you to learn more and to get the experience of to use our experience to help you to find that job yourself.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. How is the industrial placement year carried out, if there is any, in an undergraduate course?
So usually that happens, well, it's available for all of our programs, and that happens in the third year of a 4-year degree. So for architecture and for our business programs, not economics, but business related, it's compulsory. So it's a 4-year experience where you would normally do your internship year in the 3rd year. And for all other subjects, it's an option. But through UCAS, you would normally decide to have that placement year added if you haven't already applied for that. So what that means is that students coming on to those years, in the 2nd year of study, you would start to apply with the university's help for those positions. So you've got a full year in which to find an internship with the university's help. And then you would normally start in year 3. You would finish at the end of year 3 and you would start your final year for year 4. Sometimes that can lead to employment opportunities at the same company as well. They are quite often paid and they give you experience in that field, so hands-on experience. So again, it's a really, really good opportunity. And we would realistically recommend everybody to take that placement year because it's something that we've been offering for many, many years. And we really see the benefits to student employment having done that internship year.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. For Masters in Finance, is it required to have 15 years of education or 16 years of education?
We don't really mind as long as you've got a degree that is within the relevant area. So normally within finance, we look for students to have quantitative skills. So from the likes of mathematical backgrounds, commerce backgrounds, engineering backgrounds, where you're very good at numbers, you're very good with the quantitative side, just so you're not going to struggle with those modules. For those who have got less of those modules or less experience in finance or mathematics in general, they would be recommended to come on to our finance and management course, which is kind of a hybrid of finance and management, which would give you the introductory modules to finance. So that's for students who are less confident about the finance modules.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Do you have masters in business psychology, and is any work experience required for any kind of masters?
So for our programs in psychology, we offer business psychology and work psychology. Work psychology is normally for those who have got a BPS, so British Psychological Society accredited degree, of which outside the UK, there's only, I think, 3 countries that offer those degrees. So it's normally from a UK bachelor's degree. Business psychology is for students from any psychology background usually, or commerce backgrounds who wants to go into that discipline. That doesn't require work experience. The only program that we would do require work experience for within the business school is our MBA. That doesn't have a psychology specialism. It's a general MBA, and that requires 3 years of experience. But all of the other MSCs are available without work experience.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. You have mentioned that 25% scholarship is available for UG student. Is it given on the basis of percentage marks you obtain in your board's exam? Also, 25% fee is waived only for first year or in the whole tuition?
So it is a 25% scholarship based on the first year. For some engineering subjects, they do repeat that. If you do well in the first year and offered the scholarship, you can then be offered that for subsequent years. So particularly mechanical engineering, that's one that quite often offers those scholarships. The 25% offering usually is based on a scenario where you've got predicted grades that are very high. So let's say 90% for CBSE, 3 A's at A level, 36, 37 points in the IB. And you're predicted those grades. So we would offer you then a conditional scholarship. Then when the grades come out, you would need to then show the evidence of those grades. And if you meet them, which normally needs to be in full, you are then offered the scholarship that way. So it's not an application-based scholarship. It's automatically considered based on your predicted grades initially to get the conditional offer. And then the final scholarship is confirmed based on your actual grades.
Thank you, Rob. The next question. Does one need science in grade 12th for pursuing sports science or sports psychology?
Usually, yes. So for psychology, I'd say less so. But for sports science, particularly having biology and ideally one more science subject would be really, really useful. And also maths somewhere in your profile is needed, because a lot of it is focusing on the anatomy, the human body, on performance, on nutrition. So you would need to have good science skills for you to be able to cope with the content there as well. It's very lab heavy, so lots of experiments, lots of use of facilities. So again, it would need to have a certain background for you to be in science subjects.
Thank you, Rob. The next question: is there any summer course available for electrical electronics engineering to gain more practical knowledge in the field of EEE? If any, how is it done?
We don't, unfortunately, no. So we don't offer summer schools or taster sessions, unfortunately. So it's not something that we choose to offer. Other UK universities may have an offering, but we don't have anything available, unfortunately.
Thank you, Rob. The next question: will the coach service be available for students arriving from amber list countries on 20th September?
So all of our Heathrow pickup services are available via the bookable form. Let me just go back and have a look here. So no, not on the 20th, I'm afraid. So for this year, it's only on the dates shown here. So 21st, 22nd, and 23rd are the arrival dates. So we're offering 10 options. So there's quite a few for you to choose for, but the 20th is not one, I'm afraid. So if you're arriving on the 20th, you could either book a pre-bookable taxi, which will save you a little bit of money against the taxis outside, or you can make your own way to the university via other public transport options. But just bear in mind, you'd need to travel straight to your self-isolation location as soon as you can. So that's normally the requirement of entry to the UK.
Thank you, Rob. The next question: are there any scholarships for postgraduate sports science courses, October 2021 intake?
So for 2021, obviously, your course is starting quite soon, but no, our School of Sport Health and Exercise Sciences don't offer scholarships for 2021. And I don't believe they will for 2022 either, unfortunately. Undergraduate scholarships are there, but not for postgraduate students.
Thank you, Rob. The last question: do you require a GMAT or a GRE?
Very good question. It's not compulsory. We certainly see the value in it, particularly for our business-related programs. GRE tends to be, and GMAT to some extent, tends to be more for US, Canadian, and sometimes Australian universities. We are assessing you on the aptitude and good quality of your bachelor's degree. So that's usually enough on that side. However, if you're taking GMAT and GRE, please let us know your scores, because we'll take that into consideration, and we will look favourably amongst students who have taken it, but it's certainly not compulsory.
Thank you, Rob. We have one more quick question. Is one-year master's program in engineering good enough for the placement opportunities?
We certainly think so. We've only ever offered 1-year degrees, so we don't have anything to compare it against. But certainly for employability in the UK, with the graduate visa route coming in, you are learning the skills in a year. So it's quite an advanced fast-track course, but it's going to be quite an intensive year, but you're learning the skills to go and work in industry, and we have lots of connections to help you to get there. So we would certainly agree that doing a 1-year degree in engineering or any other discipline would have good prospects in the UK. Those with work experience beforehand, although during the pandemic we know that's quite hard for you to find, would certainly be an advantage. But we will provide you the support again throughout and up to 3 years after your graduation to help you to find that. So there's certainly support available.
I have covered all the questions from the chat box. Thank you so much for answering all the questions so well, Rob. To all the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact SI India offices. We will be more than happy to help you at any point of time. Now we are moving towards the end of this seminar. I would request Rob to say something in the end of this seminar for the audience who are watching us right now.
Thank you, Deepika. Thank you so much for SI UK for hosting the event today. It's really good to see so many of the questions come in, and I hope it's been a useful session for all of you. Thank you for listening. Good luck with your studies, either at Loughborough this year, if you're joining us. I know a few of you have made inquiries. And for those of you who will be looking to study in the future, stay safe. Please just take time over your applications to Loughborough or to other universities. Shortlist as many as you can to give yourself a good chance of finding the right one for you. And if you do need any support from me, my details are bottom left, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions you have from email. So thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you so much for your valuable time, Rob. Good day. Bye-bye.